share it, love it, heart it, retweet it, or do nothing. Do none of those things.
Okay.
Shane, just kidding.
Oh, wait, we're live.
Yeah, we have to whisper now. This is actually a whispering show. I'm just looking for the place to share things.
That'd be kind of fun to have just a whispering show, though.
That would be fun.
It's like now's when you're supposed to be like, no, I fucking meant it. Like, why are you not whispering?
Just cue up the Yin Yang Twins. Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear.
Like we just took creepy to a whole new level.
Yes, without a doubt.
All right.
You're all Googling my name, trying to find pictures of me and whispering about it.
Oh, wait, Facebook, Shane Swagger. Yeah,
I wish you'd turn your camera on. That way I can see Gabe pop up in the background when he finds you.
If you find one, it's not me, man. I've been pretty heavily stalked.
Look, I understand.
We're live. We're live at the Dynasty Happy Hour, Fantasy Huddle. It's
Fantasy Huddle.
It's the open bar. It's the open bar. That's what it is. We're here, the open bar. We're here every Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern, sharp, never late. We've never been late. That's the thing, is we're never late. And we're live. That's the cool part. You know, you get to see beautiful faces. I did a little goatee, Mr. Goatee. They call me Mr. Goat at school. I don't get it. I don't understand what that means, but I roll with it. But you know, enough about me. We're into week 11. I'm feeling fine. J Mike, how you feeling, brother?
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you for asking. And here's the thing, Gabe. I'm still feeling great in the midst of the absolute tragedy that's taking place in Buffalo. But we can save that. We'll get into it here shortly after we introduce who's with us tonight.
You're so excited to just dollar bills.
Yeah, bunch of IOUs. I can let them rain.
Yeah.
Student loans, holla at me. Yeah.
We should start calling. We're gonna put Nathan Peterman on the $1 bill, I think, at the end of this show. But we do have a few guests, 2 new, 1 old, 1 skunk lover, 4 skunk haters. First, the skunk haters, or at least 2 of them. Derek from 24/7 fantasy football. Is that backwards? I'm not sure, but you know, say your thing. You're better at introducing yourself than I am. So what's up, dude?
Not much, man. What's going on? I got a fresh glass of whiskey poured here, ready to talk some football.
I'm so happy that you have that elixir with you, because me too, man. And you know your stuff.
Hey, does a body good, you know?
It really does. And speaking of, we have the better of the 2 Shanes, I believe. A new Shane in the building.
Okay.
A new Shane in the building. Last name Swagger, like actually, like before swag was a fucking thing, Shane Swagger was on the scene. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me, Gabe. Happy to be here. Yeah, but yeah, I go by Swagzilla. Co-host Fantasy Football Breakdown podcast with my boy 2 Drink Minimum, and yeah, got tipped off to you guys. I've listened to the show, but got tipped off from Casey, so started talking to Gabe, and man, happy to be here, talk some football. And I already got some shit from the guys. I'm not showing my face this evening, so
it's all good. It's all good. We'll make up for it.
Well, you don't want to give the live action snot rockets just flying across the screen, you know. I hear they
that shit's real too.
So, you know.
I just didn't trim the nose hairs, so that's the problem.
Hey, so I know this is about you being on the show, but actually I want to ask you real quick about 2 Drink Minimum, because that when Casey mentioned that, it rang a bell for me, because when I was doing Grab Bag Fantasy Pod, I believe he was on my show, right?
Yeah, you got that.
Okay, I thought so. And you kind of one of the first few. So Jason?
I think he was on with you and Frank the Tank.
Okay. Nice. So yeah, back in summertime, that was fun. That was good. We need Dynasty Frank on here sometime. We got to make
Dynasty talk. Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. And you know, shout out to Two Drink Minimum. Perfect name for this show. We'll have to scoop him up in the near future. But welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
And then the other Shane, Skunk Lover.
What? Why do I have to be the other Shane? I was the first Shane. I am actually Shane is the worst. So that's my last name is the worst.
It's the worst.
Yeah, I think it's German.
We could just, instead of Woat, we could just call you like Soat or Shoat to have the SH thing, because I just feel that you need that.
And he had that way before it was cool to be the worst.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Easily the Woat. Well, shoot, let's just jump in. J Mike, sounds like you were ready to talk about Bills. So say what you need to say.
I am.
Say it.
First and foremost, giant shout out to the first lady of the open bar, Casey Kasem.
100.
Obviously, she's the tie that binds us all together this evening. Anyhow, so yes, obviously before the year started, with trading away Sammy Watkins, with trading away any good player that they had or not re-signing them, we were already under the impression that the Bills were going to be tanking, and the hashtag free Tyrod was already in effect, right? They come in, they start winning some games. Things don't look as bad as we thought they'd be for the Bills. And then all of a sudden this morning at about 10 o'clock, as Mike is finishing, I'm on my way to work, find out that they're benching Tyrod Taylor in favor of Nathan Peterman because McDermott says he wants to take a quote-unquote calculated risk. And this is all about winning games. His words, not mine. And I could not call shenanigans any louder than I am right now. Shenanigans, Sean McDermott. You dirty, dirty Buffalo former Carolinian rat. Sorry,
Shenanigans per se.
That was more for probably the fantasy tilt. So shout out to those guys. That is my rage tilt. I cannot. I'm done with Buffalo. I'm done with Buffalo.
So you think they're tanking?
I don't know if they're tanking or not. I have no idea. But if
you're not in the coach's room.
If you say that it's a calculated risk as a team that actually has a legitimate shot to go for a wild card spot in the AFC, and you want to put in a guy who's never played a down in the NFL, okay, sure. You believe that, Sean. But hey, who am I? I'm just a guy sitting in my living room on a podcast. What do I know? I don't know anything.
Well, first of all, don't talk about yourself like that.
Fair. Thank you, Shane.
To me,
I mean, at least give yourself some credit. I mean, it looks more like a bedroom, not a living room.
Hey, where the magic happens. No, I'm just
playing. So you haven't been married that long.
I took the married joke. Damn it, I was going to go with that.
You know, as soon as you got a year and a half of marriage and you start kicking the married jokes like, oh, where are your balls? Oh, the wife's got them in the purse, or she gave them to her lover. Or wait, was that just me? Okay.
It's not until you drive the minivan that you know your balls are fully gone and never coming back ever again.
Still trying to figure out why my oldest daughter has green eyes and I have dark brown eyes. The mailman, he's a good-looking guy. I don't know.
I'm not going to say I don't trust my wife, but when I was in the delivery room and the babies came out white, I was like, all right, well, there's half the battle. You know? I don't know if he's mine exactly, but he's definitely not some black dudes that I got to explain away. We'll cut that out. You know, if they hadn't just traded for Kelvin Benjamin, I'd be all aboard. They're on the tank, train. But they do some weird shit, man. I don't understand. That front office is very confusing. You get rid of Sammy Watkins, you let Robert Woods walk, then, however many weeks into the season you trade for Kelvin Benjamin, and then you decide that Tyrod Taylor is not the guy to lead you when his wide receiving core, and it might be a Jordan Matthews thing, was up there for one of the worst in the league. I'd say the Bears were, probably worse before Benjamin, but what he's played with up until they got Kelvin Benjamin's just been utter garbage. Shout out to Zay Jones.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Say they can't catch zones. I mean, that dude's terrible. I don't know. I mean, I was talking to people on Twitter earlier today, and they were just like, some people are trying to convince me that Peterman is a better thing for LaShawn McCoy, and I'm just like, wait a minute, are you freaking kidding me? Like, somebody got to talk me into this shit because I just don't see it, man. I'm like, this is absolutely insane. I hate it. Well, you know what? I'd like to say I hate it for Tyrod, but I love it in the sense that maybe Tyrod can go somewhere and get freaking appreciated because homeboy has no wide receivers ever to throw to, and they're like, well, he doesn't target the wide receiver. Well, no shit, they're all garbage. I wonder why he doesn't. His number one wide receiver is a running back, fool. I mean, shit.
True.
So Peterman is better at the screens and the 3-yard dump offs. That's the rationale.
I guess, man. I don't look. People are trying to tell me what he's a more complete quarterback, and I'm like, at what, being a rookie and having 54 completion percentage in the preseason. Sure, he's more complete.
I think the argument.
I'm not
is
saying that he's gonna
go
help, but
Sorry.
I mean, that's probably where he's gonna be looking. I'm not saying that he helps like McCoy or, I mean, man, if Charles Clay comes back, he might look for his tight end. That's probably where a rookie quarterback's going to be looking. I don't think that it helps anybody on the team, though. But, I mean, McCoy's probably the only person on that team I'm interested in. And with that said, I'm not saying it helps McCoy, but that's the only guy I want off Buffalo.
I mean,
I'm sorry, Gabe. I'm going to cut you off and keep going because I'm not polite.
That's why we bring you on.
I'm not either, though.
But
you know,
you would think you trade for Benjamin. You'd want to see what Tyrod could do with him. I mean, you know, with more than a week and a half of practice. But I mean, maybe, I mean, look, we're not in the practices all day. We don't see what they see. You know, Tyrod isn't Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he is bad, and it's just been masked by the fact that all the receiving weapons around him were bad also. I got nothing. I don't know.
I got a little something.
Okay.
May I? Just one thing.
All right. I mean, you're hosting. 30 seconds. Fine.
Okay. Clock me. I just wanted to say real quick that Tyrod takes a lot of those carries away from McCoy. And I think that is where people probably think initially that it would be beneficial for Shady. But I still think Tyrod's a better quarterback, at least at this point. They say that Peterman was the most, well, not they, some said that he was the most pro ready coming into the league. And yeah, a little bit, but apparently it was Deshaun Watson. And so, yes, he'll take some carries away, but will the team still be successful and be able to move the ball? I'm not sure. I do think it is a little bit better for some of the receiving core on there, like Charles Clay, if he can come back and be healthy a little bit, or Kelvin Benjamin. I think one of those two guys get a slight bump from me versus Tyrod Taylor there, just because he does so much with his legs and really has never thrown the ball much. We know how successful Sammy Watkins was, or when Sammy Watkins was out and Robert Woods was in. You know, and now both of them are, well, not so much Sammy, but Robert Woods is a top 15 wide receiver somehow in LA. So,
how many rushing attempts? How many rushing attempts are we talking about a game? 4?
Of a bump?
Well, no, because we're saying he doesn't throw a lot. So I'm just curious, well, then how much is he running the ball? He's not running the ball 14, 15 times a game, right?
I think his rushing's actually down this year compared to previous years.
I would guess that he's rushing at least, just off the top of my head, would be 5 or 6 attempts a game. But
all right, well, let's see. He's got 9 games. Oh, well, this is math and shit. But apparently he has 53 attempps. So that's more than
5.
Yeah, so about 5 and 5.7.
Almost, like 6 a game, basically.
Oh, yeah. Or if I look at the next column, it actually tells me 5.9 a game. So,
gee, it's like
wow, that is a lot. Jesus. Yeah, no, that's a pretty good bit. The only thing is, though,
Peterman's not running the ball.
Charles Clay was already a tight end 1 with Tyrod Taylor. So you think Peterman will bump that up? No?
And a hush falls over the crowd. I mean, I thought Gabe was going to grab that.
Mike, drop. Apparently, I blew it up.
I was on Pro Football Reference. I was
I
trying
started
to
looking at Sammy Watkins stats. I'll be honest here.
I'm over here looking at Tyrod, and Shane, to answer your question directly, it's a good question. I have not the slightest clue. I just find it interesting when we talked about Tyrod's rushing numbers. And Shane, just to make sure I'm looking at what you were probably. You said 53 attempts, rushing attempts on the season. Okay, so 53 through 9 games. In 2016 he had 95 attempts. So that what is that? 6 attempts a game, 95 in 15 games, and then in 2015 he had 104 rushing attempts in 14 games. So it's not necessarily like he's on pace to do anything different than he's done previously.
But Sean, which Sean do they have? They have the McDermott kid, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, that guy. That Sean. He wasn't there during the previous Tyrod take off and run year. So maybe he is pissed. Like, you know what, motherfucker? I'm calling for passes. Stop fucking doing one read and taking off.
Yeah.
I think I like Nathan Peterman now.
And they were talking about Nathan Peterman in the offseason. They were already talking about a little bit of a battle. So it's not too much of a surprise that they want to see what their rookies got before they go into the offseason. But I think it hurts a lot of players for fantasy, though, for sure.
An $18 million hit, I think, if they keep Tyrod next year.
Yeah, that's the other part of it is the fact that, just like you're saying, both of the Shanes, just like you guys are saying, that they were talking Peterman up, but how much of that was because of the fact that they knew they weren't going to be paying Tyrod? Like I think
there's a lot of that.
Yeah, so preemptively, of course, you're at least, again, humble opinion, you're going to talk up the guy that you drafted because you feel like he can be the guy. But then additionally, you're not paying Tyrod. So why would you? So why would you throw Tyrod a bone? Why would you want to showcase him? Why would you want to do any of that if you know that this is not the guy that we're even going to move forward with past this season?
But Mike, I mean, they loved him so much they waited till the 5th round to grab this quarterback they love. I mean, that's some high draft capital right there, buddy. I mean, shit.
It's commitment.
The part that I think hurts McCoy the most is like Tyrod's running we were talking about. The lack of a running threat at quarterback. I mean, how much does that ease it for McCoy? So you have the rookie quarterback in there. I mean, really, what does an opposing defense? I mean, what stops them from? You don't have any kind of wide receivers. You have Charles Clay, who's very prominent in their passing game. Which, if Charles Clay is your number one option in your passing game, I mean, obviously you got some serious freaking problems. But I think taking away Tyrod's rushing threat hurts McCoy a whole lot. Because, I mean, what's to stop any defenses from just stacking the box and saying, all right, fine, rookie quarterback with, largely crap wide receivers, beat us in the pass. Do it. I dare you.
Yeah. And McCoy can only handle that so much at this stage in his career, too.
It's a good point, Zilla.
Yeah, until he breaks down. Or the thing that I thought was crazy was people were like, well, they got blown out the last 2 games. And with a rookie quarterback or what have you, that, he'll still be involved in the pass game. Dude, McCoy only had 6 targets in the last 2 games. And both of those, the Bills got absolutely just manhandled in both of those games. So, I mean, does he really keep the pass game involvement? I don't know. I mean,
he'll probably have the ball a lot, at least.
If you don't game plan to get the ball to Shady in the passing game, then you're not good at the whole coaching thing because
I think that's a fair point that they're not good at this.
I don't even know who their offensive coordinator is. It's not Doug Marrone still. Wait, he's defense. I have no idea who their offensive coordinator is. None.
Oh crap!
I don't know off the top of my head either. It's
I don't know. I'm going to consult Google on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could have done that. Yeah. Seemed like a lot of work for something I don't care that much about. But just my overall point on that is if you're not scheming to get Shady the ball in the passing game, then you're not using him to his full capabilities, and you're not good at coaching. But
agreed.
Yeah, but Nathan, I mean, they do have Kelvin Benjamin, so maybe Peterman's just going to feed him. Maybe it's going to be a Tom Savage, DeAndre Hopkins situation.
Yep.
He's just going to target him with 37 targets for 11 receptions and 80 yards.
I mean, I could definitely see that happening. I think a lot of their moves just totally speak to, like everybody was talking about earlier, to tank mode. I mean, they gave away. Did they trade Darby away, or did they let him sign somewhere else? I forget.
No, they traded him to my Eagles.
So they traded Darby. They had a good run defense, and then they traded Darius away. And now their run defense is total shit. And they got rid of Sammy Watkins, who is, I mean, do we even need to have a conversation about how Sammy Watkins is, I mean, just leaps and bounds better than dad bod Kelvin Benjamin?
Apparently, I see a lot of hatred for Sammy out in the Twitterverse.
That's crazy. I would love to buy a Sammy, especially in Dynasty. The dude is still just ridiculous talented.
Yep.
All their trades just speak to tank to me. I mean, especially with Tyrod. I think the Bills didn't think that they're almost kind of surprised, like, oh crap, we won some games. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen.
It's not part of the plan.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, wait a minute. We were supposed to suck and get a high draft pick. What the shit is happening here? All right, let's get some other people. All right, let's bench Tyrod. We can't win any more games. We got to have a top 5 pick.
What'd you say, Gabe?
I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, they trade Watkins and Darby, and then they hedge their bets with the Jordan Matthews, and then they start winning their games, and then they're like, wait, shit, should we try a little? Okay, let's get Kelvin Benjamin. Just like, and then and before that, Charles Clay goes down, and that's the Kelvin Benjamin replacement, or the Charles Clay replacement is Kelvin Benjamin, supposedly, and then none of it works out, and it turns out the defense is actually bad, that the offense isn't the thing that needs help, and wait, yeah, it is. Let's bench Tyrod.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's obvious rebuild mode. I mean, every one of those receivers, I mean, they're all new to the team this year. Zay Jones, I mean, obviously a rookie, but then Jordan Matthews and Kelvin Benjamin. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird situation, man.
It was so crazy. Anquan Bolden was like, no, bro. We're not doing it.
Was there a rumor about Anquan being like, all right, fine, I'll come back, but I'm not playing for you, okay?
Yeah.
So
they let his agent talk to other teams, and other teams were like, dude, he sucked last year. Like, just because Detroit just kept feeding him in the end zone doesn't make him good.
They're probably trying to sign him as a quarterback, and they're like, bro.
Dude, Buffalo reminds me of fantasy football owners, because it's the same thing. It's like, this week I'm 4-4, next week I'm 5-4, so now I'm going for it. Now I'm all in, and if I lose, well, then I'm selling everything.
That's exactly
trust the process, man. Like, come on.
The Philly kid saying trust the process.
I'm saying you got to choose one way and run with it, Just fucking balls out one way or the other. If you're going to suck, just embrace the suck.
I think they've been embracing the suck. I think the Kelvin Benjamin trade wasn't them trying to grab wins. I think it was McDermott was like, hey, you're my boy. We share Big Macs. Come on over here to Buffalo. We can eat the Big Macs in Buffalo. I mean, come on. Secret sauce, we got that shit. Come on. It's just a little bit colder, so you got to put it in a pot and just make sure it's warm, okay? It's all good. It's all good.
Just one thing to note real quick. I'm not sure if someone already mentioned this. I just find it interesting with LaShawn McCoy. Not that obviously yards per attempt is the be-all, end-all, or yards per carry is be-all, end-all. Just as a matter of fact, though, right now he's averaging his lowest yards per carry at 3.8 that he has for his entire career. He's not had a season where he was below 4.1. So just another indictment against the Buffalo offense at the current moment.
Well, Jay, Mike, you're actually looking up stats and shit, so because I'm not going to. I'm just wondering. He's always had a high touch volume, but it's been pretty. A lot of that's come in the passing game. Are his rushing attempts up, relatively speaking, or?
Well, we're halfway through the season. He's got 157. Well, a little more than halfway through the season. He's got 157 rushes. The most that he's had, like last year, was when he was just ridiculously efficient. 1,200 yards on 230 carries, which was ridiculous. His high was back in 2013, where he had 314 carries. So I think he's trending up toward those higher 200 numbers. If we extrapolate that out, so
which
that's
is okay
too.
for Shady, though. I mean, that because he gets so many touches in the passing game, anyways. I
Yep.
mean, as long as you can get 250 total touches, you're easily. I mean, not easily, but you have a higher chance of being a running back one by the end of the season. So
He's just under 200 right now. He's at 198 right now. So between catches and carries. So yeah, he'll be right in that sweet spot that you just said, Gabe.
For sure.
Well, so J Mike's got the stats on right now. So what I guess the thing that kind of popped up for me is so you have Matthews, Jones, Benjamin, rookie quarterback, with all these and Clay's back now. So 4 different options in the passing game. Does LaShawn McCoy's target volume go down with all these healthy options? Because I mean, like we were talking about their crap wide receivers. I mean, previous in the year, I mean, if he's operating as the number 1 wide receiver, now you have healthy guys and options in the passing game. Does his target volume actually go down with their health?
I mean, still.
Oh shit! I think I just dropped the mic again.
Right, mic drop. A J mic drop.
Yeah,
I think with the rookie quarterback situation, the whole dump off thing is kind of true, or he's gonna, fluster Kelvin Benjamin with balls, and he's gonna love that, or Charles Clay, we'll see. And it just seems to be one of those guys, or we'll just split them up. But because they'll be throwing more, I don't know. I don't really see it going down as much. I think that it moves like in a negative direction for the team's productivity, but I think it moves in a positive direction as far as touches per game. And I don't know. I think that it's in like just a stagnant argument to say that he's going to be better or worse. He's just still going to be like the 8th overall running back, and that's it.
Well, that's some of that. I got into a little bit of heated Twitter talk earlier today because you know how those go. No, never. But is Shady still an RB1 the rest of the season? Because I mean, I don't know, man.
Who else is going to be? Fuck, this is such an awful year for running back. So, yeah, as well. He's one of the 4 workhorses in the league. So,
okay,
I still believe it. I think he's still. He's not putting up numbers like Bell or I guess not Zeke anymore, but and not even Hunt. Like who's even the best running back right now? Le'Veon Bell, I guess. But then there's like a bunch of other guys that just have boom or bust weeks. So yeah, I think he can be a top 10 guy rest of the season.
Yeah, I think top 10.
I think like you said, with volume alone, he'll you like to think volume. Anyway. With volume alone, he'll be productive enough to be RB1.
I mean, he's got a really nice schedule coming up. I don't know. I just worry about with Peterman and losing Tyrod's running ability to people just stack the box and say, fine, beat me in the pass.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, I mean, where's the line for that, though? I mean, will you Kamara or McCoy?
Ooh.
I would take Kamara, man.
Question.
Me too.
I would take Kamara.
Ingram or McCoy?
Ingram. Easy. I mean, that's
from the same team.
Then Fournette.
5
Yeah. But then Fournette, Gurley, Hunt, Bell.
Yeah, I mean, I came up with a list earlier. There was so how many of you already rattled off, Shane? Other Shane?
I think
Shane?
it was 7. I don't really know.
Non-skunk Shane.
All the time. But yeah, I don't mind a skunk. I don't know.
I mean, I came up with like 9 running backs, or at least like 8. I mean, put it this way: would you take Jay Ajayi or McCoy? Put it that way.
I have to see this Jay Ajayi thing. Like, I'm not buying it. I have a hard time believing that he's just going to go there and make Philly's crappy run game good when Kenyon Drake and Damian Williams can make the Dolphins' run game look sort of good.
I mean, he had like 8 carries and
Yeah.
70 yards and a touchdown in his first game, knowing
Yeah,
like
I know,
a third
man.
of the
I don't
playbook.
know.
On one big run, like he
On-
always does.
Well, okay,
Well,
Kenyon
you know.
Drake's touchdown last week came on a big run.
Last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
he
we
had
can't act like they don't happen. The problem with Jay Ajayi, or however you say his name is, they don't use him in the well, they didn't use him in the passing game in Miami. When the kid showed he can catch the ball in Boise State, he gets to the NFL,
crazy.
and they're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you know what? You're a 2-down back now." Like, wait, what?
It's
And
Why
they,
is it so hard
for me
he
to-
did all this shit in the offseason. He's like, yeah, Jay Ajayi in our passing game, and Devontae Parker's going to catch 20 damn touchdowns this year, you know? And then they don't use him in the pass game? I'm like, what the hell, man?
But even when we boil it down to just base level stuff, the Eagles are legitimately giving carries to like 4 guys a game.
yeah.
So,
But not, and you know, and I didn't know which way you're going with this argument. And I don't care because I'm going to cut it off. I've heard repeatedly on Twitter people bring up, and I don't know again if this is the way you were going about. Oh, no Eagle running back has had more than 6% of the carries in the last 3 years, or blah 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 blah. Have people seen the Eagles running backs the last 3 years? We had fucking Ryan Matthews who broke his fucking spine every time he ran the ball. Darren Sproles, you couldn't give a lot of carries to because he would die. LeGarrette Blount, that's not his role. Wendell Smallwood sucks at football. That's a pretty big thing. When you're not good at it, they shouldn't keep giving you the ball. And I love Corey Clement. I think the kid's a find, but he's not a workhorse.
Whoa. You in cahoots with Tyler or something? What the fuck's going on? Just because you're coming on a Dynasty Happy Hour show, did you have to say that? Did you have to?
I almost gave him a shout out on
the
Twitter.
Contract? What was that?
I was going to give him a shout
It's
out
the
on
fine
Twitter.
print, okay? Yeah. Fine print.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I decided not to because I was like, that's a lot of work. I don't
Did he put
give anyone credit. Fuck that. But
Did he put a?
good. But I'm thinking.
Shane, I need to know. I need to put this joke in. I need everyone to hear it. Did he
Yes.
put a gunth to your head?
Gunther?
Just a gunth, yeah.
Just a gunth.
just the gun.
Oh,
Yeah.
he gave me the gunth.
Perhaps a DHH gun.
Oh shit.
Oh, the gunth.
Carry on.
Yeah. So, I'm tired of hearing about how the Eagles have used 47 different running backs. Nobody wants to use 7 running backs for 2 roles. The reason they do it is because the guys they have aren't or weren't good enough, or they weren't versatile enough to do both things. Ajayi, and the more I drink, the worse his name pronunciation is going to get. But,
I'm pretty bad with names, too.
the British guy, the Brit. But, he has the skill set to be a legit 3-down back, and you let Blunt come in there to bash people's heads in, towards the end of the game.
If it makes you feel any better, that is not where I was going.
Okay.
The only point I was making was the fact that McCoy's still going to get a ton. Well, I guess Zilla was asking, hey, McCoy versus Ajayi. And I'm still thinking McCoy ahead of him with just, if nothing else, sheer volume.
I agree. I'll take McCoy there. It's kind of where you have to start drawing the line. At least me. I don't know.
I actually go Ajayi with that one.
Really? Man.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Derek?
Yeah.
I wasn't watching. Yeah, we're right. They're so wrong.
Look, I mean, I don't want to prop it up too much, but yeah, I agree. I just think you have a better offense. You have a better offensive line. I think that, like Shane was talking about, all the running backs in Philly up to this point have sucked. And so why do you go out and get Ajayi if you're not going to freaking use him? So I think that he's going to be in a better offense, more touchdowns all the way around. Even with the volume with McCoy, I mean, they stack 8-9 dudes in the box. I mean, what's he going to do? I mean, J-Mike was talking about his yards per carry already down. Are they going to go further down whenever he's got no quarterback to run and give that threat too?
Yeah, and you're not stacking the box against Wentz because he'll fucking pick you apart.
Yep.
Valid points.
Casey's probably watching this and actually like wincing every single time you mention another Eagles player.
She's stroked out. She's already stroked out. Wait.
Yeah. She's on the floor just gyrating. She doesn't even know what to say. She can't even hear this anymore.
The final death blow will be this was it Monday or Sunday night?
Oh,
Sunday night.
yeah.
It's going to be beautiful watching the Cowboys getting fucking smoked. I'm sorry.
Look, if Tyron Smith is not back, it's gonna be bad. They're gonna be what did the one Falcons player matched up against Tyron's backup have six? Dude, he had a 6-pack. He opened up a 6-pack of sacks. I heard that dude got almost $1 million bonus by hitting his quota for 1 year of sacks in one damn game. One game.
Yeah.
Man.
So if Tyron Smith's not back, it's gonna be rough, dude. Eagles are just gonna put it on them.
It's absurd.
It's gonna be beautiful. I'm sorry. That's just I'm an Eagles fan. I can't. I don't care about fantasy. I play Dak in a bunch of leagues. I'm playing him Sunday. I hope he gets me negative 18 points. I don't give a
fuck. Shane, real quick, and of course for everyone who's listening to this podcast version of what's going on, we do have a live show on YouTube again Wednesday nights 9:30 Eastern time. And Shane, someone by the name in the chat here of Tired.
They're from the South. Yep.
Yes.
Hey.
Tired.
Since the twin with all the
resemble that joke. Okay.
Yeah. Same here. They say Shane needs to sing about the Cowboys getting smoked. So do you have a rendition, perhaps a bye 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 from NSYNC about about them getting smoked? Let's hear it.
To the Cowboys season. Bye bye bye. Wait, I got nothing.
You did the dance, dude. Damn.
I think it was. I think they went the same way. They weren't attacking each other. I don't know. I had Pac-Man fight. I'm not really sure what that was. I got to go color my hair. I'll be back.
Get the frosted
you were talking about your receding hairline before we went live. I think that's actually going to mess up your hair. You might end up with less. I don't think you need to do that personally.
God. Maybe it'll make it grow more. I don't know.
You could end up with the Stephen Smith hairline, which is basically the middle of your head.
About right. That's actually about right.
I love how they never show a side view of that dude, because basically, I mean, it is like back here, he looks like he is low riding, except with hair.
The struggle's real. The struggle is real.
Trust me, you see me rocking a hat. Trust me, I know the struggle is real. I live that shit every
day. If we can transition for a second, is there any chance Adam Thielen will finish as wide receiver 1?
Like overall?
Overall.
Oh shit!
Let me ask you why before you give your opinion. And I know this is a hard right turn from what we were just talking about, but I wanted to, because I found this incredibly interesting. Full point PPR league. If we're looking at, and this is again referencing the open bar LFO league, where the stepbrothers are absolutely atrocious. Adam Thielen is tied for 3rd in points per game at 16 points per game. He and Larry Fitzgerald averaging 16 points per game. Obviously, Thielen was boosted by that 30 burger he just put up. But he's got the Rams, the Lions, and Atlanta the next 3 weeks. Case Keenum apparently does not want to lose his starting job. Any chance, Adam, because he's going to finish, at least it looks like he's going to finish pretty close to wide receiver 1 overall. Is there any chance? Do you guys buy that in the least bit?
I think it's going to be tough to catch Hopkins or Brown, but I mean, I think it's certainly realistic to be a top 5 wide receiver.
And just for context, like you were saying, Gabe, like you said, it might be tough for him to catch those guys. He's 3rd in points per game, and he's 3rd in total points.
Yep.
How absurd.
I think it's going to be tough to top Hopkins.
I'm going to say yes, because Tom Savage is terrible at football, and at some point, Bill O'Brien, he doesn't care about Hopkins being the wide receiver 1 every week, so he'll probably make a quarterback switch. There's a good chance Stephon Diggs strained his hamstring at some point today and is going to miss a couple weeks this year still, and AT is going to go nuts. And I suggest everyone just refer to him as AT from now on because I hate spell checking his name on Twitter all the fucking time. But yes, he can.
Silent. It's always
So
silent.
I mean that he finishes as a wide receiver 1 for top 12.
No. Not a wide receiver 1.
The wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be hard to catch Brown.
So Brown's currently about 22 points up on him, just to give you context.
I don't know.
Hopkins and Brown. I don't think so.
I think Brown rebounds and has a bunch of big games down the stretch. I don't know if Diggs, and this is a big if he stays healthy at least for half the games left, he's going to eat into his target volume and some of the touchdowns. I think enough to keep him out of being the number 1.
We're in a world where we'd rather have 2 Saints running backs over LaShawn McCoy, and Adam Thielen could be the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy.
Yeah.
What is this?
Sounds like a usual fantasy year. Some crazy shit.
Like somebody said before, I can't remember who said this.
We're crazy to me.
We're currently
I'd almost
living
rather
in the
have
upside
Jags
down.
wide receivers than Packers wide receivers.
Yeah, like this is Stranger Things. We're living in the upside down. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched that show, so thanks for spoiling it for me. I didn't know there was a lot of fantasy football.
Newsflash:
Jordy Nelson is in there, and he is actually one of the aliens. Sorry, my bad. Spoiler.
I thought it was a continuation of it. See, so I'm all thrown off. I don't know.
It's pretty similar. Some 80s music. You have Jordy Nelson just kind of rolling around there, tentacles and shit hanging out. So it's some good stuff. Don't stick a lighter next to Jordy Nelson. That's all I'm going to say.
Could be a problem.
Why didn't anyone tell me that it was fantasy football related? I might have watched it.
Well, that's kind of what we're doing. We want to clue you in before season 3 drops.
So it's a prequel to the league.
Pretty much.
How did you not know this? The main character is 11. How many players on a football field?
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Gabe, you're blowing my mind.
Wow.
Just fucking saying.
Oh my
god. But as far as those matchups, J Mike, those are great. What'd you say? Rams? Everyone's eating on the Rams, mostly because like they score so quickly, and then everyone else gets a chance to play against their pretty lackluster defense and tired defense because they're on the field so much. The Lions, Darius Slay is going to play on Stephon Diggs, and even if Stephon Diggs is out, whatever, because Thielen still eats, and he's better when Stephon Diggs is out, but he's still good with him in there. And what was the other one?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Atlanta's a pushover.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So then we're all in agreement. He's the wide receiver 1.
No.
It's
either Hopkins or Brown, but
I think he walks Hopkins down.
He's going to hold on.
New Shane. Shane the Shane.
Swag.
What do you got, Swag?
Hello.
Take Brown there as well, easily.
I feel most of this is pure racism against Adam Thielen.
And
it used to be.
Well, we just went on a long Jordy Nelson rant, so we kind of equaled it out there.
Yeah. When in doubt, go with the best wide receiver in the league who just happens to be black. It's far for the court.
That's kind of it, man. Like I'll definitely take the field almost against any wide receiver. I don't know. There's a lot of wide receivers that could finish the season pretty strong and stay above him or still overtake him. And man, I'd be happy to start him each and every week on any of my teams, but I'll take
just for the Vikings.
I'm worried about Hopkins, but man, I'll definitely take Brown.
Yeah, AB's due for about a 40-50 point game. That dude has at least one of those a fucking year on someone.
Oh, versus the Titans this Thursday. It's coming, man.
Just one of those weeks where
it's coming.
Everyone gets on Twitter and they're like, I played AB week over. Yeah.
But guys, if you owned Antonio Brown and somebody tried to send you Thielen, I mean, what are you going to do?
You're going to accept that? Brown.
Well, you could easily get. I mean, if you're gonna, I'd sell Antonio Brown if I could get Thielen plus, because I'm
Thielen
sure
plus,
when,
yeah.
like
But you
I'll
can't.
give
They just
you
want to send
Antonio
you
Brown
him.
for that Adam fucking Thielen guy plus, whoever the hell else you want, basically. I don't know. People probably just think of like name cachet still at this point.
Yeah, I get a lot of just.
But I'm just
absolute
saying
shit
straight up.
offers for
Can they
Thielen.
sell that to you? Can
What's
they sell that to you straight up though? Just straight up. Will you do it
Antonio
straight
Brown
up?
for Adam Thielen? Or Adam Thielen for Antonio Brown? Because I would do the Thielen for Brown, but
I'm saying you're selling Brown. You're the Brown seller. Like
No.
I
you
would-
believe that
no.
Brown's really not going to be the wide receiver one this season. Like at the
No.
end of the year, you're gonna
I just
keeping
think
Brown.
he's a lock for top 3.
Keeping Brown.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I mean,
But that's kind of a different discussion, though. That's all about value and what you can get for a player.
Well,
Like,
and then are you
even if-
talking redraft or dynasty too? I mean, yeah,
Well,
either
Ray
one,
White.
man.
I'm sorry. What was that word?
Rewind. Who?
Redraft.
Riri? I don't know that.
but oh, there you go. There you go.
Sorry, Derek. You were making a point, and I was rude.
No. You're good.
Let's say
point
on
over.
any
I had
team-
like 3
Never
words
happened.
there.
On
Go
any
ahead,
team
Phil.
that's in contention, whether it's redraft or dynasty, who do you want to win the rest of your season? This year and next year for that. I'll take Antonio Brown easily.
Well, yeah. That's not,
Yeah.
not much of an
I mean,
argument.
so-
I mean, because obviously, and I could trade. I can get more back in a trade for AB than I could ever get for Thielen.
Yep. The name
I-
value is just not there too.
Yeah. And,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can get Thielen and whoever the hell else you want with for Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in Thielen enough to take him on in a trade over Antonio Brown to finish as wide receiver one, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Just speaking of the possibility. And
You know what?
Kim-
New Shane,
Oh,
you are the
sure.
best.
I hear you, man, on the possibility. Yeah, definitely.
what's amazing is that to me is just like that the Vikings have 2 top 20-ish, top 25 wide receivers. Like that is fascinating. It doesn't matter if it's Sam Bradford, doesn't matter if it's Case Keenum, doesn't matter when it's Teddy Two Gloves here in a few weeks, 2 weeks, maybe 1 week. See how bad Keenum plays. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Keenum saved his job with that 4 touchdowns. If not, it'd be
I
22
know.
goals right now.
The craziest part about their wide receiving
That
core
first snap
is
from Teddy. Ugh.
they have a first round draft pick fairly high too, from what I remember. I try to block a lot of the Laquan Treadwell stuff out of my head.
Oh man.
But you got Adam Thielen, who was undrafted, and you got Diggs, who was a 5th round pick, and that's probably the best wide receiver duo in the league.
Yeah.
AB
Yeah.
and Juju is right there. You know that's a pretty
And then they're
close.
not even using Michael Floyd or Treadwell.
Yeah. And it was Floyd a first round draft pick too. Many moons ago.
I believe he was.
Second.
Yeah.
I think he was
Yeah.
For first or second, he was
Really
definitely top 3 rounds.
Yeah, and it's the undrafted free agent and the 5th rounder that are lighting up the league.
Yeah.
And how absurd is it? Like that combination, like those dudes just get open. Like they just get open
Yeah. It's a
constantly.
perfect combination. There's a lot of good kind of little pairs as well this year. I mean, Tate and Marvin Jones has been coming on late, and I mean before the Rodgers injury, Jordy and Devontae Adams, and the top 24 wide receiver pairs is sort of rare, and it usually comes from the same quarterback. So it's weird to see it come from Stafford. Certainly weird to see it come from Keenum. And so, and maybe even Goff, if Sammy can turn something into something. I don't know. He's probably only like top 40 or 50 right now, but Woods is up there in the top 15. So we'll see.
Just to give you a heads up, Michael Floyd went 13th overall in the
13th
draft.
Cooks and Hogan.
I bet you got hammered draft night. Just saying.
On organic tea, sir.
Kombucha. What is it? Kombucha?
Just saying, you know.
Don't want anybody getting the wrong impression here.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we have happy tea hour going on here.
No. We're getting drunk. I support alcohol completely. I don't give a shit. Look, whatever you need to do to get through the day.
And a lot of that equals whiskey.
Just saying. It can't smell vodka on you. I heard that once. I don't know if it's true, but I test it all the time.
Find out.
Hey guys, over under on the amount of receptions Sammy Watkins has had in the last, let me count here, 6 games.
Under.
And right. The amount is let's go 11.
In the last 6 games?
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna go under.
And mind you, their bye week was in week 8.
4-1.
So over the last 7 weeks, but 6 games.
He's had like 8.
Oh shit. Oh
A
god.
lot of them are nice touchdowns though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go push. Can I go with a push?
That's fine.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go under.
The
gonna
double
go-
zero black.
I'm gonna go barely over, but I mean, like I'm talking like 12, and that's damn horrible. 6 games and you got 12 receptions. Yeah.
Hold
God.
on.
Mike?
Let's stretch this out real quick. Sammy Watkins, pro.
Are you? Oh, come on.
Oh, he's
No.
I have it right in front.
You
I have it right in
literally
front of me.
hear it happening.
No, not at all.
J-Mike,
I don't
what do
know
you
what
think?
you guys are talking.
I was in the chat trying to answer something. Can you ask the question one more time? Sorry.
We're putting an over under for Sammy Watkins receptions over the last 6 games at 11.
Oh, I'll take. I'm taking the over. Come on now.
Are you a Sammy Watkins truther, J Mike?
Without
No, it's
question,
under.
I have absolute unabashed, unashamed love and truther status for Sammy Watkins. So he just like the way that Gabe sees Carlos Hyde, that's the way that I see Sammy Watkins. Like through the worst of it, through the best of it, that's my dude. Like I'm riding with him.
That was like my only call this year. Well, not only, but it was a better one. Certainly the Hyde love. Shane, would you like to share the statistic?
I have not cheated, but I am going to go with under because he has had 2 + 1 = 3 + 3 = 6, and then that's 7. We're going to throw in that 0 there. 8.
Damn.
8 receptions.
Right?
Yeah, but a quarter of those have gone for touchdowns. If I know anything about
He's
math,
had
which I
8
might not.
receptions.
Yeah.
In the last 6 games.
But and how many targets? His target 2 for 3 last week.
20.
Jesus Christ!
I mean,
he had
not great.
He had 2 fucking targets the week before. One of them being a 67-yard touchdown, which was a thing of beauty because it's worth 19 points in distance scoring leagues.
It's just so weird to me. They're just scoring so much. Robert Woods is getting his, and obviously a lot is going to Gurley, especially in the passing game. He's getting kind of a weird amount of touchdowns in the receiving game and just receptions in general, but maybe not so weird. But I don't know. It just seems like that Watkins would be more involved.
Here's the thing. It's hard to fault Sean McVay because they're a winning team. They're one of the best teams in the NFC right now. The Fugazi division because the Eagles are a level above everyone. But somehow
I don't know about all that.
Whoa! I'm making a point here. Somehow they don't find a way to include one of the most talented wide receivers in the league. Like the guy doesn't need a ton of targets. He doesn't need 15 targets a game, but can we get him, I don't know, fucking 6? Maybe get him 6 targets? Everyone remembers what he did to San Francisco when he fucking destroyed them, right? Yep. When he made that pretty over-the-shoulder one, and then he ran the touchdown up the middle and killed someone. Dude, and he went in the concussion protocol, but whatever, he's fine now. I don't understand it. I don't. I mean, I understand just the threat of him, and I'm sure the coverage, the best coverage going his way opens everything
had a lot
up
of
for
tough
everyone
corners,
else.
for sure. Houston's
Yeah.
got a great secondary. Janoris Jenkins. Actually, I think he was out that week, which was weird to me that he didn't get more targets. But Patrick Peterson, a combo of Boye and Ramsey are boys there. J. Mike, Seattle's secondary, of course. Dallas, whatever. He should have ate there. But yeah, Josh
But
Norman,
you take him off that
Vontae
team.
Davis. So he's
You take him off that team. Cooper Kupp gets. Do you think Cooper Kupp gets any receptions? Because that dude's trash. The only reason he gets receptions is because I don't know guys that are
two
as
other
good as
guys
Mike
that are much
Graham
better
are.
than him.
Yeah, yeah. And Robert Woods too. Like Robert Woods is having a great year, but if Sammy Watkins isn't there, well, guess what? Patrick Peterson's shutting down Robert Woods.
Yeah, I think Robert Woods does not have the season he's having without Sammy there.
So-
hell no.
Yeah, so from a real football perspective, he's great there. But for the love of God, I hope he signs somewhere else next year, preferably Philadelphia.
And
Chicago's just going to scoop in
That's fine.
Watkins and then sign our boy Allen Robinson.
No.
Sorry. And then Robert Wood, or excuse me, they're going to come back with Cameron Meredith in the slot.
oh my gosh.
Can you imagine what Sammy?
And then they'll still run the ball 400 times with Jordan Howard.
But could you imagine what Watkins
10 pass
would do
attempts.
with DeAndre Hopkins level fucking targets? He would put up 200 yards a game.
He'd be
That's just
ridiculous,
it,
man.
With any corner on him, I mean, if he got those targets, he's gonna get it. I mean, needs some looks pretty bad.
I'm going to send my resume over to Cleveland because apparently they'll hire anyone. And that's going to be my whole thing. We're going to sign Sammy Watkins and throw him the ball 15 times a game.
I mean, look, you could come out and just say you're the reincarnation of two different quarterbacks, and you could be the next starting quarterback for Cleveland right now. You know?
It's fair.
Yep.
I have the best parts of Steve Young and Brett Favre. All right, we'll draft you. Sounds good.
Real quick, I know
Got heart.
somebody said something about Robert Woods' season, and I think we're having a little bit of a not revisionist history, but like I think it's a recency bias to some degree because outside of his last two games, the three games before that, he had 3 straight games, 5 receptions, which is good stuff, obviously, especially in PPR leagues. You're happy if he's giving you double digits, like it's nice. But literally in the last 2 weeks, he scored his 2 touchdowns each week, and he went for 23 and 37 points respectively. So like, it's not that he was killing the game previously. He was pretty. I mean, it was pretty lackluster. I mean, it's not somebody that you were going to start. But these last 2 weeks, like he's riding a massive hot streak, and so if he's going to be scoring on 5 catches a game, then okay, great, like it's wonderful. But otherwise, anyway, I want to go back to something real fast. Shane,
Agreed, J. Mike. Good point.
good deal. And Casey, I don't know why I said Roberts Wood. That's kind of weird. I'm sorry. Anyhow,
Robert
Shane,
Wood.
yeah, Casey called me out in the chat for it, and I'm trying to just keep it
Robert
moving like
Wood.
I didn't do.
Oh my God.
Robert Wood. Because
That
you're
needs to
talking
be on-
about
that needs to be on a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's his
Preferably
penis.
a tank top. That's awesome.
Yeah. So Shane,
Yeah.
Turd brings up a point he wants me to ask you about in the chat. Turd asks, he wants me to ask you in regards to, does the hashtag Smallwood live on?
No, he's fucking dead.
Okay, he said you know about that
Shane's
hashtag,
move,
whatever
yes.
that was supposed to mean. So
There was an unfortunate hashtag that had a good friend of mine on Twitter, DFA compadre, was actually blocked by Wendell Smallwood for inappropriate content hashtags. But yeah, no, Smallwood's dead.
fair enough. Open and closed case.
Yep.
Good talk. Small wood talk.
I won't know anything about that. Yeah, it's not true.
Roberts Wood.
Roberts Wood.
Long live Roberts Wood.
Roberts Wood. Hashtag Roberts Wood.
Yeah, foot in
my
mouth
favorite
there.
thing. All right.
Roberts 2x4 feels like it's a little bit too wordy.
Hey.
Just saying. It doesn't roll off the tongue, you know.
Planking with Robert. No, that doesn't work either.
Yeah.
Planking Robert's Wood. I like it.
Yeah.
You could be like Flywood though. Robert Flywood. Take that.
Nice. I got you.
That's a lot of time talking about some dude's wood.
Yeah.
I don't know what was worse, the Flywood or the that followed it.
Yeah.
That's what caught me.
Like you're just being nice to the new guy, but I appreciate it.
We try to make everyone feel welcome, Zilla.
But man, real quick, you guys went through and like said a bunch of players going to Chicago hypothetically, but it made me think of Dontrell Inman. Man, I think.
I like that
How do you guys feel about that?
8
8 targets, 6 catches this week. I don't know. I kind of like him, man. I think you should go buy now.
Pick him up.
I mean, he's a pickup,
And
but
cheap.
I mean,
He's so cheap.
Here's the thing. Didn't he
He's a
drop
big
800
body,
yards
though.
last year, too?
Yeah,
I
He
think
wasn't bad, man, and they had a lot of options.
Yeah. And that's the thing. He was buried on the depth chart until, the only time the poor guy got to play is when Keenan Allen broke a spleen and, 17
He
other
had 2
receivers.
practices, and he's out there already got 8 targets.
I mean,
literally the best wide receiver on that team right now.
well, I mean, Trey
Hands
McBride
down.
is, but they're not
Literally
throwing
the
the
best
ball.
wide receiver on that team right now.
Hands down.
When I was doing waiver pickups yesterday, I did put in bids for Inman, and he was available in every league. So I put in moderate bids in every league for him. Even where I don't really need receivers because you can't ever have too many good players. I mean, look, Trubisky seems to like him, and if John Fox is going to let Trubisky throw more than 7 times a game, he could definitely be a play.
Yeah, the 8 targets is sort of bizarre coming from Trubisky when he's thrown like 8 total footballs before that game.
Right.
So,
man.
I think the Sammy Watkins over under applies here. So over under 11 passing attempts every game for Mitch Trubisky. It feels like there's a linear nature here.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I think it's worth an ad, but maybe a deeper one. When you're starting 3 wide receivers, maybe a flex play or something, but a wide receiver 3 kind of at most. But it's just not there for the Bears kind of thing.
Yeah, but in dynasty leagues, everyone
I love it.
that has ever played football has been on someone's roster at one point or another.
They have some kind of value.
Like I still see Vince Maul when I'm scrolling down on the waivers, and Justin Blackman. Like, you know what I mean? So everyone has some value. And
Tim Tebow's probably like, sitting out there on an orphan bench somewhere.
Exactly. Calvin Johnson just got dropped after the trade deadline in a few leagues I'm in. Like they're like, hey, you know what? Now's the time to give up.
I saw somebody in one of mine bid, I think like $30 or something like that. Something just stupid, ridiculous for Calvin Johnson. Like, oh, he's coming back. It's going to happen. I'm like, no. It's not happening, dude. Not happening.
Yeah, I like Inman. I mean, I threw out bids where I have, maybe 10% of my fab was left, depending on the situation.
Yep.
I mean, whatever. He's a
tough to start though, for sure.
Yeah,
especially now that we're through all the bye weeks. And sorry, I keep talking.
No, you talk, Shane. You talk as much as you want to. That's what we do on this show. Shanes do whatever they want.
It would interrupt a lot less if you talked less.
Wow. Yeah, that's
long cool drag from the cigarette.
Yeah.
Long live the Shanes.
There you go.
Good.
Shane squared. Very well done.
Hashtag Shane Wood. There you go.
Shane Wood.
There you go. Shane Wood.
Shane's Wood.
Shane's Wood.
No shame in the wood.
All right,
Yeah.
Real.
How much fab did you put in on Inman? Now that you mentioned all that, though.
I dropped
Premature fabulation.
I'm in a ton of different leagues with different fabs, so it's hard to say like actual dollar amounts, but say like $100 league, I still had $20 left. I threw like $4 or $5 on them.
Yeah, you got him.
No, I did not.
Okay.
No.
That one random dude that's been holding it to put the 20 spot down on Inman.
Exactly. He's the 1-8, 1-7-1. He's like, oh, that tie's gonna help me at the end of the year.
Yeah, next year. It's all next year.
He's got his full $100 left.
Inman's gonna be a wide receiver too.
Book it. So, one last thing I know I want to hit on before we kick rocks here shortly. This gives you guys the chance to sound like absolute geniuses. This is an opportunity that you only get on the open bar. We record this on a Wednesday. Typically, if Tyler's not too busy with his gunth, it gets actually put out on Fridays. And so the Thursday night game, we've got the Tennessee Titans, Mariota and the boys traveling to Pittsburgh. How do you guys see this falling? Is there anybody you like for this game? Anything you want to shout out in regards to this matchup? Because DeMarco Murray won't die, and Le'Veon Bell is still the GOAT. So what do you guys got?
New Shane, you go first.
Man, well, I mean, game script's going to go to DeMarco Murray again, but I don't on a short week. I won't even lie. But man, last week I didn't love him either, and then he went out and had a huge week. I feel like they should throw the ball to Corey Davis more. Been high on all year. It hasn't happened. I feel like they should give Derrick Henry the ball, take some load off DeMarco Murray, but it's probably not going to happen. So, guys, in that game, I would start our DeMarco Murray. Man, games this year, man. I don't know, but I was so low on DeMarco Murray, guys. We don't talk a lot, but man, that's some guy that I didn't think would be as good as he is right now. But so it's hard for me to talk about. But man, fucking A.
Well, he hasn't been. I mean,
Thursday night games,
Any better? It's been very difficult to start DeMarco Murray every week. I mean, he's been okay, but nothing amazing. So
not last year. Yep.
It's a roller coaster.
Their mom wanted this to be the Derrick Henry come up season, and it hasn't quite been the case.
Yeah, he's had a few games here and there for it to possibly happen, and then it just kind of doesn't. Just
every week, Coach Talk makes you think it's going to be a Derrick Henry week.
Yeah.
I mean,
back to Roberts Wood, he's definitely edging us every week.
Yep.
The worst thing about the Derrick Henry thing isn't, I don't watch a lot of Tennessee Titan games because no one does.
Unless you live in Nashville.
Yeah,
or unless you're forced to, and they play the Jags on what is that
that's always a Thursday night special.
Every Thursday night game. I mean, shit.
It is. Yeah. It's
every year.
Yes.
That's the
Those
color
damn
rush
ugly ass color rush jerseys they put out there for the Titans and the Jags.
Hey, don't be bad mouthing. Don't be bad mouthing the Miller High Life champagne of jerseys.
Just the Jaguars
from the Jags.
And that's the Natty Life right there. Okay, there's no way. It's totally Natty Life. Oh.
The game.
The splits look fairly even, but I don't know how the usage is during the games because like I said, I haven't really watched. But you see the splits, like I said, at the end of the game, and you're like, they're fairly even. DeMarco had 16 carries, Derrick Henry had 12, but for all I know, all Derrick Henry's game when it was, 3rd and 36. But it's been disappointing being a Derrick Henry truther because I've shouted out multiple weeks that this is the week that it's going to happen, and it hasn't. But I'll go out on a limb.
Don't give up now, though, because one week you'll get it right.
Well, you know, in Dynasty, you know DeMarco's gone because his cap hit so high next year, and they can cut him for what, $1 million dead cap hit. He's 29, I believe. He's the RB22 in average points this year, but even that's kind of skewed because he's had a couple of spike games. But yeah, no, I love Henry. I still think the kid's a beast. I think he's better than Zeke, to be quite honest with you. I think, again, if you throw him behind that Dallas line last year, he runs for 2,000 yards. But that's just me, and I've been drinking, so
no. I mean, maybe I've been drinking too damn much because I absolutely agree with you. I love Henry.
Yeah.
It's just weird for them to, I mean, like the nice running back combos that exist now, you know, between Kamara and Ingram, those are different running backs. Coleman and Freeman, those are different running backs. Duke Johnson, Isaiah Crowell, those are different running backs. Henry and Murray, pretty similar, just up and down.
Couple sledgehammers.
One cut.
Yeah, they're both high volume guys, though.
And you can't really share that type of like production if you're just when you switch a guy out, you kind of expect something different. But if it's just the same thing, then it's just, I don't know, it just seems like a waste. So I mean, you know, so deuces to DeMarco Murray, and then grab a guy in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round next year that can, you know, relieve Derrick Henry, because he can certainly carry the ball 800 times a game, much like our boy Fournette.
So tomorrow night, you load up all your Steelers, I presume, playing everybody, your Jujus, your ABs, your Bills, Big Bens. And do you play any receivers for the Titans?
Yeah, Corey Davis.
Yeah, I think you're right, Corey Davis.
I think Bell and AB are the only like smash starts. Juju and Ben are like meh.
Okay,
The Titans aren't great, but like
I'm not sitting Juju.
And Juju's like been on a run.
I mean, I think Juju stays on the run though. Yeah. I mean, Martavis Bryant's not getting enough of the target share or the snaps right now. I think that, I don't know. I think Juju's a must start for me going against the Titans secondary.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if you got him on your team, you got to at least throw him in a flex or something.
Yeah, I think he's more of a flex play for me. And unless it's the Rams and 49ers, these Thursday night games don't typically score a lot of points. So, and they're both, I mean, at least the Steelers are a decent defense. So I don't see a lot of
second in the league right now.
Yeah, I mean, I know the numbers against quarterbacks and wide receivers for the Steelers have been great so far this season, but with Joe Hayden going out, I think that Corey Davis actually has a really good game coming up here. I think the target volume's been there, but you haven't seen the blow up. He got the touchdown negated last week, so if target volume holds with Joe Hayden out, I mean, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, Hayden's been kind of covering the number ones for a lot of different teams. So if he's out, who's going to stop Corey Davis for the Steelers secondary?
Ben Gay's not still there, is he? No, so not him. Not him.
So Hayden has been decent, but I think collectively they've just been a good defense all around. But
yeah,
starting to get home.
I'm throwing Corey Davis out there. He had 10 targets last week.
He's led him in targets in 2 out of the 3 games he's played. I mean, dude's getting the volume. I mean, if he'd had a touchdown last week, we'd have a little bit different things to say about him. If they'd have counted the touchdown last week, there'd be a little bit different narrative on him. That's all I'm going to say.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, I'm throwing both my rookie wide receivers in there. Juju's not seeing the bench for me until he throws up a donut because the kid's just been killing it.
Or loses his bike. I don't know.
He's got a driver's license now.
Hey, he's got his driver's license now, apparently. Yeah. So, you know, until he loses his Prius. So
I'll just get a ride from the broad, Mia Khalifa. What is that her name?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
He sidestepped her real quick.
I'm definitely on the Juju train.
Swerve.
You got to get a Juju train going, like honestly, like a Juju, like the choo choo though. Like, but I'm on that train.
Choo choo.
The choo choo.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that like the train that you ride at the zoo?
I'm
A little,
picturing
little bit
something more
stronger than
fierce.
that.
Yeah, you get to see the giraffes as you pass by. You know, hey, there's zebras. What's up?
He started his YouTube channel and he posted a little clip of it, of basically him going back to USC and celebrating and hugging people on campus and stuff. And I died watching just a short clip of him hugging USC people, and you have to go back and watch it. And I posted it as a GIF, but he just like deliberately ducks this girl, and she's so mad about it. And then hugs this other woman. And it's just so fascinating, like amazing. So yeah, Juju's been hilarious, at least outside of football, and really football too. The touchdown celebrations have been on point. But
He gave her the Mila stiff arm there.
yeah.
Except in real life. You know, it wasn't just GIF. He was like, I'm going to live this shit.
Hey, Shane, real quick. Most beloved Philadelphia sports figure right now, Carson Wentz or Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons, for that matter.
Not Simmons, because he isn't as fun.
Okay.
Carson Wentz is killing it, but Embiid is so fucking funny, and he talks
Embiid's
so
winning.
much
Embiid's
shit.
just winning at life, right? He's just winning
Dude,
everything.
That kid is the fucking best. I
hope
like
he
Wentz,
sticks
but
around,
he's
man.
just
That's
too
amazing.
like, I don't know, Midwest. Like, all right, I'm going to bed at 8, and then I'm going to raise a barn in the morning. Like, no, that's great. Dude, you do you. But like Embiid, I could be like, dude, we going to the bar? So I'm gonna take Embiid. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Wentz will share a beer with you at the barn. I mean, you don't want to go to the barn?
I don't think he would share a beer. Milk.
This body.
Warm milk. Warm milk. If he wants to get all rowdy with it, he'd be like, "Yo, I boiled this shit. Let's get crazy." And I'll be like, "All right, go to bed, ginger baby. Me and Joel got some shit to do."
Daddy's got to stay up and drink the cough syrup. Sorry.
Yeah.
Good.
And a good time to maybe shut it down there, J Mike, with cough syrup talk.
I think that will do it.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to transition into different types of scissor that we enjoy, but I think we're good. Well, fellas, my goodness, this has been a lot of fun.
Or not.
J Mike drop.
No.
I mean, I was going to let
Has it not been
lead
fun?
off, but you know, I was going to let
Has it not
the
been
new
fun,
Shane.
or has it? Well, now has it been fun or not? I mean, what should be? What do we
Got
need
us
to,
all
what
in
do
our
we need
feelings
to
and
change?
stuff.
What can I do better? Like, what can J Mike do
Definitely-
better? What
definitely
can you
more
do?
whining.
He's crying. He's crying.
More
It's
whining.
time to go.
Uh,
Oh, reach the awkward point.
But seriously,
Nah.
thank you, fellas. It's been great. We'll say our goodbyes here, and you do your thing. You plug what you need to plug. We'll start with you, Derek.
Well, thank
Tell me
y'all for
about
having me
yourself.
on. Definitely shout out to Casey for giving me the props to sit in on here. I mean, look, I got a chance to drink some more alcohol and talk football. So, I mean, really, shit, is there a better thing that I can do with my Wednesday night than this?
No.
So, appreciate y'all having me on. I love it. Definitely want to be on again. New Shane, old Shane, a little bit of Gabe, J Mike talk. So, thank y'all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Go check out the podcast. Did you mention your podcast that you're on?
Oh no! I was giving it all to y'all. I didn't actually do the infamous drop for my own shit, but sure.
This is your moment.
I'm down with
Your
it.
moment.
I'm down with it. I mean, if I'm gonna get my moment, I'm
Say
gonna
the
bleed
word
it out.
double,
You
so
know.
you
So
say it.
yeah, check us out at FFB_247 for our redraft guys, 247 Dynasty for our Dynasty podcast. I'm on there with Willie. Our episode drops every single Friday, so check me out at dbro_FFB. I am probably borderline being committed on my obsession with Twitter right now, so hit me up.
That's good. It can definitely consume one. Shane, which Shane?
Hashtag Roberts Wood.
Roberts Wood. Fuck yes.
Just gonna throw that in there.
I wish apostrophes were a thing for hashtags. I don't think they are.
Could that Roberts Wood? I mean, literally, we could give him the ka-chink, the comment at the top for that.
Right. Yeah.
Let him own his wood.
Look, you deserve it, Robert. All right. Shane,
instead of pluralizing his wood.
You right. Shane, one of the Shanes speak. I don't care who.
New Shane.
I'll speak. I guess. Try this.
We tried this.
Everyone, welcome Swagzilla to the show.
What up, Zilla?
See if
I
we can
speak
Allow me to
seriously,
reintroduce
guys.
myself.
A lot of fun. Thanks for having me on, man. I don't know. Yeah. A lot more. I'm hoping check out the podcast. We do fantasy football breakdown. Something we're doing, man, that I'd rather plug than anything about me, though, is we teamed up with a couple other podcasts with Clock Dodgers and Break from the Grind, and we're trying to raise money for Toys for Tots. So if you can find our fantasy football breakdown Twitter feed, we've got a link on there to try to raise a little bit of money for Toys for Tots program through the Marine Corps. So going to raise some money and hopefully get some presents, put under some presents for some kids this Christmas.
Yes.
That's what's up.
That's
Good
good.
stuff, man.
So check that out, guys. If you see any of us around anywhere, I mean, even if you can't, I mean, retweet it for us. I mean, get it out. Just try to, anything helps, man. Trying to get some money for these kids.
100.
Yep.
Agreed. And the less.
Me, seriously, honestly, man, I love to talk football anytime. So, yeah.
Well, okay. So we'll
I'll
have
just
you
keep
on.
interrupting. I'm just joking. I'll shut up.
I thought it was an accident, and now it just feels purposeful. He's like, wait.
Guys, you
This
have
is
me
the
on
problem.
anytime, just not with old Shane.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
problem.
Not
That
with the
makes it
skunk.
fun.
No
It's
way.
kind of nice to not know if I'm being talked to, though. So I'm just being
This is the problem with not having a video feed is we don't know when you're going to speak. You can see when we're going to speak, so you that you'd be able to time that pretty well, but you sure fucking didn't. So
Yeah.
if we do have you on again, you're gonna have to at least sign a contract to show your face, or at least throw that ninja mask on, or something of the like. Be like
We'll see what we can do.
the Van Burf of the industry. I'm just kidding. You can come on with audio. You can come on with audio. We'll have you on. It's been a pleasure. Shane, the lesser of the two Shanes.
Oh, that's
Say
me.
some words.
I was going to say, was that an intro for the next one? Or
Yeah.
I don't know.
So just Toys for Tots. First of all, that's a great charity. I always try to give to that, and we raise stuff. We collect toys at my job for that too. So that's a great charity.
Awesome.
But I'm not going to plug any work stuff, site stuff. The only thing I'm going to plug is go find my my Twitter handle. What am I? I'm at DFF_Shane. That's me. Or you could also look up Shane is the worst. I don't know what that means.
That's all I know you as.
Yeah. Shane is the worst. It was bestowed upon me. Look at my pinned tweet.
Yes.
Good friend of ours, John DeBera. His wife is fighting cancer right now, and he started up a GoFundMe page. Same thing. Appreciate any retweets. I'd probably appreciate it if you give them money more than a retweet.
Hell yeah.
And as I've noted in some of our articles, if you donate, I'm basically your bitch. You could DM me and be like, Shane, you need to write a breakup letter to my girlfriend, and I got you. You want me to write a letter of recommendation to a job, a school, your probation
Only if you run the
officer?
breakup letter through Grammarly, okay?
Yes,
Just so we know.
Grammarly.
Yeah.
But yeah, just jump on there. It's my pinned tweet. Like I said, just trying to raise money for him because she's got a rare case of cancer, a rare type of brain cancer, and they could really use your help right now. And that's all I ever ask for is if you could do good for someone, that's a good thing to do.
Amen to that.
Hell yeah.
Thank
Second
you
that
for
all.
saying
And Gabe, J. Mike, of course, love being on the show. Thanks for having me on, and sorry for interrupting everyone.
Thank you, Shane. Always, seriously, always a pleasure, man. You're
Something.
one of my favorite.
I think you did the head scratch, forehead, flip you off with that one.
I
But
know what you're saying. It's one of my favorite humans. That's really all I've got to say, literally. And echo what you're saying for JDB. I literally have a quote. My goodness, this is a quote tweet fired up, ready to go with the link to go straight there. And so whatever we tweet out right away is you can follow that link as well, and on Shane's page and everyone's pages. It's going around, but go there and donate for sure. J Mike, say some words.
Oh man! First and foremost, again to our guests, thank you guys for coming on. Always great meeting great people and talking with you again, Shane. Everybody checking us out on the podcast. Thank you so much for checking us out on the Fantasy Huddle thread there. Everyone checking us out on the YouTube chat. It was lit as usual, and I cannot retweet or emphasize enough both of what the Shanes have said today. As it pertains to the good work that's being done, as well as John DeBari, who's actually on the show earlier this season, or even before the season. I can't remember exactly, but that's a solid dude, incredibly hilarious. So definitely praying for you and your family, and certainly hope that there's some healing going on there, because that's some real stuff. So if you can support them, please do. Again, on Twitter at JMikeCheck, JMIC Check. And yeah, to my main man, G Money, aka Colonel Sanders, aka Gabe Gearing, aka Goat Gearing. Take us home.
That's the one, the Gearing of all time. So yeah, thanks for all for joining us tonight. And we're here every Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern. Like I said, we're never late, so be here or don't.
Hashtag Saxonville. Didn't get that in. Sorry.
That's true. We didn't talk much about the Jaguars tonight. You're welcome. Hop into that YouTube chat and join us live. J Mike we talked a little bit about that. We usually implement that a little bit more, and so we can talk to y'all while we're doing this live show, because it's fun just to just keep it going with 5 dudes that are talking about bullshit. Talking about how many targets that Sammy Watkins had in the last 6 weeks. I mean, who could have come up with that?
Hashtag apostrophe S. Just saying.
Roberts Wood. You need to be there. You need to be here to listen to that live, because God, so many good things. But I'm at Grab Bag Fantasy. I say things
out of everybody.
Not very often, because life. But hey, I'm here every Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern. J Mike, we are taking the week off next week, because
that is right.
There's a holiday that people do, and families gather. Things like that. So a week off, but back in 2 weeks, back at 'em. Is that all right with you? Or do you want to
Sounds like a plan from our family here at the Open Bar to yours. Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. Y'all be safe out there and enjoy the games.
Yeah. Master based all weekend. And
I'm going to let you handle that.
Cheers. So we do a little cheers, guys. I know you're new to the show. You do a little cheers to the camera like that. And then we say we'll see y'all next week. And deuces.